Good morning, everybody. Sorry for the delay today. 8:21 a.m. Hope everybody had a good weekend. In Jersey here, we had beautiful weather. So, beautiful weather, it seems like again today, and it's October. So, what happened to the markets on Friday? So, Friday, there's some large orders hitting the tape here. So, Friday, we had an inside day. Okay. So, a little bit of volatility in the morning, and then I explained this on Friday morning, the pinning. Okay. We can go over that and just show you a couple things. So, um, Apple, Nvidia, let's just say, they literally closed on the large gamma strikes, literally to the penny. Okay, so Nvidia's large gamma strike was 138. You can check it out. The close was 138.00. Apple 235.00, right on the money. That's exactly where it closed. So that's why I really pay attention to gamma levels because they're so important, and the options market drives a lot of things that happen. Okay, so that happened. I regret not playing some butterflies on those because those would have been nice. But anyway, so that's what kind of happened on Friday. Even in the Qs, 594, 595 were large strikes, 585 in the SPY was. So it wasn't going much of anywhere. Now today, when all that money, trillions of dollars, comes off the books, usually there's some type of change that happens after OPEX. We'll see if today starts something new. I don't know, but sometimes that's what happens. Okay, because all that money came off the books. So that's what's going on. So we had an inside day. This morning, we're pretty much at the lows of Friday. And we'll get into that. All right, this earnings season has started. So last week, you had Netflix and a couple others report. This week, a couple other heavyweights. We'll get into that. All right. So without further ado, welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use market profile and volume profile to find structure in the markets, along with supply and demand, gamma exposure levels, the most traded price of the year, the month, the week, and the preceding day. All right, all helps me find structure. It's my edge. It's how I look at the market. Okay. Now, what I like you guys to do is I do this every day at 8:10 a.m. Now today, of course, my computer had a little issue with my computer, so I had a little late start. But hopefully, every day you can join me, have a cup of coffee, have a cup of tea, get the market recap, get what's going on in the markets, right? Find out what's going on today, the leaders, the laggards, the market news, the economic calendar. We'll go over earnings, upgrades, downgrades, why stocks are moving, and then we go over some daily charts. Then I like to say the main event usually happens in 20 minutes from now. That will be the NASDAQ and the ES futures analysis, okay? And that's where we go over long and short trade scenarios. Long and short trade scenarios, right? That sets up the blueprint for the day. And then once the market opens up, that's a whole new data, all right? And I haven't done that as of late because I haven't had a trade that really had educational value. Okay, I want to only give those. So, but I do post them, and I show you the criteria that I do take. All right, and I do post them on my X at Gonzo719. I post them on my YouTube Shorts, so you can check them out there. All right, I think they're really good, laid out on how I trade. All right, so here's my TikTok at Gonzo719 Trader. Okay, and of course, if you enjoy my content, just smash the like button. I'm trying to get up to 200 subs. Hopefully, we can do that. Start a little profile army here. Okay. All right. So why don't we get right into the futures watch list here and see what's moving. Okay. See what's moving around. So today we got a leader here is the VIX. The VIX is up 5.88%. We're up to 19. Remember we were up at 20. Like I said, I feel like this is going to hover around here until the election. Now the metals have made big moves on Friday, especially with the geopolitical tensions. Silver is on the run. Okay, so it's up 3.22%. Maybe some FOMO in there, people missing the boat on silver. Ether's up 1.92. Crude is getting some love. It's been bottoming out. It's up 1.75. All right, it's up $1.19 a barrel. 10-year yield continues to rise. All right, it's at 4.12. It's up 1.34% today. Gold, all-time highs. All right, made new all-time highs, up 0.84. Dollar is up 0.14. The Dow's down 0.17. Russell down 0.21. ES down 0.28. The Nasdaq's down 0.46. Bitcoin is down 0.67, and 30-year bonds being sold down 0.68. All right, moving on to the top sector stocks. And we look at Boeing. Now, Boeing looks like they might be settling their strike. So it hasn't happened yet, but that's the news. All right, Netflix is only up 0.05. That's the only stocks in this main watch list that are even up. All right, let's go to some heavier laggards here. Apple down 0.47, AMD down 0.51, Snowflake down 0.53. Broadcom down 0.83, Coinbase down 1.09%, and Tesla is having earnings this week, okay, and they are down 1.11, and I believe there's something. I heard talking about the robo-taxi and it wasn't rolled out right or something like that. But that's what's going on there. All right, moving on to the top sectors. Oh, we just talked about the top sectors. Oh, did I give the wrong watch list here? I think I did. So that's the watch list here. What that I was talking about. I apologize. I think I had the other watch list on here. But there you go. Boeing leading up 3.06. Tesla lagging down 1.1%. All right, top sectors. All right, you got Chevron getting low with crude's bounce, and Exxon. Okay. And McDonald's up 0.17. And now you got a bunch of laggards here. Let's go down to the Cat down 0.36. Eli Lilly down 0.36. Qualcomm down 0.90. Salesforce down 1%. And UPS reported earnings. I believe they reported earnings. And they got downgraded. Maybe the earnings is not a true statement. Let me see something here. No, they got downgraded. Okay, they got downgraded. And that stock just can't get some love. And that's kind of showing the real economy shipping. But they said also the downgrade is because they're losing to FedEx and Amazon. So that's another reason too. All right, so that's what's going on there. Let's look at those. Let's go on the swing trade list here and let's see what's moving here. Humana, I saw. I think they're going to acquire Cigna. We'll get into that later, but they're up 4.44%. They've been getting destroyed, Humana. Okay. 40net up. Ooh, 40net. Sorry about that. Let's go back to this list here. 40net up 1.96. Gold junior miners. All right. Up 1.37% with gold. Donald Trump up 0.85. Occidental Petroleum up 0.83 with crude. Boston Scientific up 0.83. ConocoPhillips. Gold. All right. There's not a ton of laggards here. I mean, leaders here. All right, let's go to the laggards. Now, Canada Goose, I believe, don't quote me on this. Porter earnings got a downgrade. I think they got a downgrade to a sell. That could be, I'm making that up, but we'll get into that later. JetBlue down 3.11%. Baba down 2.35. I believe this is Delta Airlines. So airlines getting whacked a little bit, down 1.72. ARM, a semi, down 1.33. ServiceNow, down 1.6. Southwest Airlines down 1.23. United Airlines, so airlines getting hit. American Airlines down. Datadog down 1.11. CVS continues to fall, down 1.10. Okay, there's laggards for you. Let's go to the guts of the market. Leading here is energy. Energy is up 0.62. Up 0.62. Okay, followed by staples only up 0.02. Now we have a bunch of laggards here, and we'll just go here. We got real estate down 0.20. Discretionary, that's your Tesla, your Amazon, down 0.31. That's your Home Depot. Technologies, the largest weighted sector in the S&P 500, that is down 0.46. Down 0.46. Okay. And semis, the laggard, down 0.61. Right there. So you got technology and semis down. That's most likely going to take down markets, right? All right, so that's why we're at the lows of the overnight session. Okay, and we're going to move over to our economic calendar and some news here. Let's do that. All right, today we got Fed speak. So Fed Logan speaks at 8:55 a.m. All right, Kashkari speaks at 1. Now, I hope this guy's done by the market close. That would be nice. Kashkari, I hope I'm done trading for the day by 1. So, and then Fed Schmid at 5:05. Okay, now for the week, more Fed speak tomorrow, and then more Fed speak on Wednesday. What else we got? Thursday, we got Chicago Fed initial jobless claims, Fed Hammock, a bunch of S&P Global Composite Manufacturing Services number, new home sales, and then Friday, durable goods, Michigan Consumer Sentiment. So the light data week. There's a light data week this week. Okay, that is the economic calendar. All right, that is the economic calendar. Now, if we go back to calendars, we can look at earnings this week. So let's look at earnings this week. Before the open today, anything big? Not really. After the close today, SAP. What else here? Nothing big. Tomorrow, before the open, Verizon, General Motors, 3M, Raytheon, Freepoint McRae, GE, so Lockheed Martin. So you got defensive there, right? And we got some car related, got Telemobile, Sherman Williams, Basic Materials there tomorrow before the open, then Clep to the close, Enphase, Solar Energy, Seagate, Texas Instruments, all right. Wednesday, Vertiv, before the open, Boeing, AT&T, Coca-Cola, NextEra Energy, CME Group, Boston Scientific. Then after the close on Wednesday, Tesla, Lam Research, IBM. So a big week, ServiceNow, okay, T-Mobile, Sands. All right, Thursday, American Airlines, UPS, Southwest, NASDAQ, Union Pacific. Thursday after the close, what do we got? Western Digital, Skechers, Boyd, Texas Roadhouse. And Friday before the open, we got Community Bank, New York Community Bank, Colgate Palmolive, and that's about it. So it's a big, decent week of earnings. Tesla probably a big highlight. So that's earnings. Okay, let's go back to these news, and we'll talk about some news. So let's look at it. UPS stock fell 2% after Barclays down in its investment stance on delivery giant. They're underweight from equal weight, citing, like I told you, about the pressure of Amazon FedEx. Spirit Airlines stock rose 36% after the carrier reached an agreement with the U.S. Bank National Association to extend a deadline by which it must extend or refinance its 2025 bonds. Boeing stock rose 2.2 following reports that workers could vote on a new deal to end a costly 5-week-long strike. Southwest stock fell 1.3 following a report that discussions have occurred that would give the Elliott Investment Management, an activist investor, a significant representation of the carrier's board. Interesting. Humana stock rose 4.4 after Bloomberg reported that the health insurer Cigna, down 3.6, has revived efforts to merge with its smaller rival after abandoning. So merge with Cigna. Tesla stock fell 1.1 ahead of Wednesday's quarterly results, when investors and analysts will get a chance to grill CEO Elon Musk on his robotaxi plans after an unveiling lacked key details. ServiceNow stock fell 2% after Morgan Stanley downgraded the software company to equal weight. Canada Goose stock fell 4.1 after Goldman Sachs downgraded the winter clothing retail to a sell. To a sell. All right, more news. Let's see. I'm not going to repeat news. So let's see. Microsoft to let clients build AI agents for routine tasks from November. Let's see. What else here? Like I said, I don't want to repeat. All right. Let's see. Eli Lilly, the company said it sued 3 medical spas and online vendors for selling products claiming to contain tirzepatide, the main ingredient in its popular weight loss medicine Zepbound, including in the form of dissolvable tablets. Interesting. All right, I think that's going to wrap up that. we can get. The juice didn't really have much. Trying to see what I read in the juice that I was like, no, we talked about gold. All right, let's look at upgrades, downgrades. All right, so we got upgrades here. Let's look at them. Ally Bank upgraded. Okay. Gilead upgraded. JD.com upgraded. That's about it there. Downgrades, let's go with that. Downgrades, we have Hilton Worldwide, buy to hold. ServiceNow, overweight to equal weight. Okay, initiation, let's see those. All right, let's see. Hormel Foods would underperform. Okay. Okay, that's about it there. Now this has not been good lately. Price target changes, they have not really updated these that great lately. Target raised, let's see, Ulta Beauty target raised. Stanley Black & Decker target raised. Procter & Gamble target raised. Let's see. Oh, they finally updated these. IBM target raised 200 to 245. Robinhood target raised 25 to 30. They just working on a desktop platform. Hood. Hims target raised. Hasbro target raised. Okay. Xerox target low. Okay, now it's getting the target lowered. Let's see. ASML target lowered. Okay. That's what took some of the market down last week. I think we're done here. I think we went over what I needed to go over here. Okay. I think we're ready for some daily charts. Let's go to our daily charts. I probably shook some people away from this channel by starting late. I'm not sure who's here. I apologize for that. A good old computer issue that I still comes up every now and then. So let's get into the daily charts. Let's get into the daily charts. Okay, let's zoom in here. All right. Okay, so remember today this would be the previous week's, not last week, because this was last week, right? So look what we did. So the SPY basically hung out above the previous week's range, right? So the oranges are last week's highs, the previous week's highs from last week, and the lows. So this is all bullish, right? But we made a new all-time high, but we kind of just balancing above last week. Okay, yet to touch this 90 MA daily in a while. All right, where are we at now? 583.11, 583.11, which is at the lows. Okay, at the lows of Friday's session. Let's look at the futures. See a little live look here. So you can see this consolidation. Now the futures gives you last week's highs and lows, right? Because it started already. So we're just in the middle of last week in futures, all right? But this is Friday session. Here we are, okay? Now I don't know if those UPS, like a couple things, I don't know, really took down the market this morning, but that's what's going on. So Qs, now remember the Qs have been relatively weak, okay? Now look at this, a little uglier chart here. This is the previous week's range, right? Compared to last week. Remember, this is last week, so this is the week before. What did it do? It literally closed right at the highs of the previous week. So it wasn't able to establish a new range above the previous week. Okay? You had some lower wicks here, hit the 20-day moving average, but basically you did not much of anything to establish a new range in the Qs. It's just been relatively weak. Okay? Relatively weak. And you have this daily supply zone here that was hit right here. Boom, went down. And then we haven't hit that back again. Okay, where are we at now? 492.40. So we are gapping down in as far as the Qs. We're down here. So we're below the lows. Okay, below the lows. All right, now let's look at the live look on futures. We're right here. Okay, right here. So this is futures. Remember, this is almost 24 hours. So that's what we're doing in futures. So you can see last week's range. There's the highs. There's the lows. There's last month's highs. Okay. So look at this balance area. You're just balancing, right? You did poop, but look, you're back at this level. So this is all, like I keep saying this, I believe no one wants to be holding the bag in the election. Because look, you got to move up and then it gets canceled, right? Look, you got to move up, it gets canceled, and then we did push up, but it's just it's not moving like a market usually does, and you have an election coming up. Okay, that's what's going on. Those are our daily charts. Okay, those are our daily charts. Now we get to that triple-headed monster. Triple-headed monster. Here we go. And that's our 10-year yield, so let's look at that. So the 10-year yield is trying to break out today out of this range. Let's see if it can do it. 200 moving average is right above. Remember, bond market is the smart money. Okay, bond market is the smart money. Moving on. I don't even know if I put this up. Let's put it up anyway if I didn't do it. All right, let's look at the second head here, and that is your dollar. Now the dollar, a little different, has been following the 10-year. The dollar hit the 200-day moving average, pushed up, kind of got some selling on Friday, and today it's trying to push up. So maybe establishing a new range, right? But remember, stronger dollar is usually not great for equities, not great for commodities. We have to see. We have to see. Okay. Now you got our VIX. That's our fear gauge. However, that fear gauge, okay, let me explain this too. And I've explained it already, but I'll explain it real quick. This is not fear right now while we're at a 19 VIX. Because like normally when you're at all-time highs, you don't have a 19 VIX, right? But what do we have on our horizon? An election. Okay? So this is more a hedge gauge. It's not a fear gauge. It's a hedge against a big event gauge. So that's what this is. You don't look at this as, oh, a 19 VIX means that there's so much fear. Now, generally, and also you don't usually lollygag around these areas. You have a big jolt of fear. Now that's when fear comes in, when you don't expect it, and then you get a shot or big rise up like in the Japan carry trade. Look at that candle here. And then look, boom, the VIX goes right back. No one knows when this is going to happen, right? You don't know when that's going to happen. So that's usual fear with the VIX. This is just hedging, okay? It's a big difference. All right, that's why the market isn't moving wild. It might run a little bit, but it's malaising a lot. All right, so that is our triple-headed monster. Now we go to the main event. Let's do that. And we'll look at structure, folks. Get my little trusty marker out here. There we are. There we are. And then we'll look at structure. First thing we want to do is look at structure. Okay. Structure's king. Structure is king. All right. So let's look at it together. All right. So here we got a weekly rolling profile, right? You got some excess. And then what do we go? The highlight blue is value area. 70% of the trading volume, right? Establishes value. All right. Picture value like a price of a house. And you got comps in the neighborhood. And right now, 58.86, the most traded prices of the week, is the fairest price for that house. That's how you have to look at that. And price right now is at 58.92, this dot. So we're right at value right here. And that means that everybody's agreeing upon this price. Okay? You look at it like an auction. Everybody's agreeing that the S&P 500, the fair price is 58.86. And if it's a house on the market, right? You want to see if the market gets hot, and you want to see if prices of your house, let's say you got a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, right? If the market starts accepting prices up here and it can establish value, like the most traded price of the week up here, well, then that establishes new value. And now other prices of homes can now meet that same price. So that's how volume profile works. Okay. Hopefully that makes it clear for some people who don't understand it. So that's all it is. So we're in value area right now, right? The house on the market is selling what it's supposed to be. That's how you have to look at it. Now, now we got that, but look, the price is holding above the value area. So like for right now, that's bullish, right? But we're kind of balancing. You can see the profile, right? I don't have to look to the left. I just look at my profile, right? That's why it's easy for me. Couldn't I look at this and go balance? Of course. But I just like to go, oh, balance. All right, cool. All right. Now, let's look at some levels here. All right. Let's look at levels. So we're kind of, this is the larger balance area here around the 58.50 area. So this is the larger balance area, the 59.27. You can see the profile shows you that. That's the larger range, right? But then we're getting this little micro range lately of 59.15 to around 58.82 right here. So you got an overnight session, real-time traded hours, overnight session. So these last sessions are creating a little mini balance area. Okay. So we're in the middle of Friday's session. Now we do have some important levels here. Okay, so we have week highs, confluence highs, 59.50 to the tick. Overnight and the real-time trading hours to the tick are equal. So buyers want to break that, sellers want to defend that, right? Now, we have week lows here. What do we have? 58.86, the most traded price of the week. That happens to be the low of Friday and the overnight low. So it's all about overnight session today in the real-time trading, in Friday's lows and highs. That's the playground. It kind of gets, you can't get any simpler than that. Okay? And it's, we could just, remember, we have an election, so we could test this, come down here, come up here, test this, come back, and we might just keep on balancing. Or you break out. Don't know. Nobody knows the timing of the breakout. Okay? Nobody knows. So we have some levels today. Now, let's look at inventory. Overnight session, that much long activity to this much short. So it's, I would say 90, almost 95% net short. But the price is not down here. It's kind of like here. So that edge is not as great. Now, if we were down here, I'd be like, okay, you could get a rip back up, right? But I don't really see that. Now, we do have supply zones right here and here. We do have a demand zone right here and here, which would keep us probably within balance. But we don't know, right? We don't know what's going to happen. So very, 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 very easy today. Okay, very, very easy. Let's do it. Let's just look at some scenarios here because it's very simple today. I like simple. Let's go with the ES. We're going to start off with the long scenario here. Okay, remember 58.86 is our most traded price of the week. It happens to be a week low with demand here. So this area, immediate, remember this is the micro balance area. Okay, just want to see if bull step in here. Bull step up. Can the bull step up? Now here's the breakout level, 59.50 to the tick, week high. Then you got another week high, 59.25, 59.27. Okay, so bulls, this is what we got to look at. Or what bulls got to look at. I'm agnostic. I don't care what bull or bear. So here we go. What do? I want to see a push into here. I just don't want to see acceptance below 58.86. Okay, if I don't find acceptance, which means if you do this, come over, hold, then yeah, I'm probably interested in getting long, trying to push through the supply zone. Then we meet our week high, 59.1550, and this, if we're bullish, it could boom, break it, maybe it holds here, and then you try to break 59.25 to 59.27 and make all-time highs again. Okay, now we do have our longer term balance range down here with demand. That is around 59, 58.50 to 58.53. So this area here below, right here, that's the last line. Now remember, if we did break this and come down here, okay, remember structure wise, I'd be like, we're only going to hit the balance lows here, okay? And what happens? How weak is the market? If the market's just kind of like not that weak and we just kind of rip down here, that's another place that if I see higher lows, yeah, we can go back to 58. We can go back to the mean. Okay, that's what I'm seeing for longs. Shorts, we got supply, folks, right there and right here, and we got the week high 59.15. Sellers defend here, okay, and sellers want to break the week low here, that right here. Now you do have big demand zones down here. Okay. Now remember, demand zones usually act as support. In a very, very weak market, they don't mean anything and they get sliced through like a hot knife through butter. But let's go into the scenarios. All right, so what I want to see here, and you got the most shorter price of the week, most shorter piece of Friday right here. So what I would like to see, price can come down and bounce up, boom, 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 and see what it does in these supply zones. All right. And now I'm going to give you a tip. If it's real weird price action, okay, and it's a new rule for myself, and it's kind of like I don't know what to look at. I only will really want to look at 59.15 being challenged. I'll be like, you know what? Go to a key level where everybody knows and make a decision. So if we did like this, boom, come down, right? Make a higher low, we might go back to the mean, right? If we break this big weak low, you got this demand zone. So you'd want to see this demand zone taken out and then see if we could find acceptance below 58.86. If we can, you're going to try to probably test this demand and this weak low down here at that 58.53. Now, if I'm a betting man, I would think that this gets defended just because of the election. And it's, like I said, you don't want to be too short. And if it does get blown through, I think you get pushed right back into range. So watch this here. Okay, you got single prints down here. Like I said, I think it can cause an initial flush if it does get taken out, or you just get defended and we go back. Okay? That is your ES. Now, move on to the NASDAQ. Remember, it's been relatively weak, and the NASDAQ has so many high volume nodes that I had to chart them. Okay, because it's just so much volume trading at these nodes. I mean, look at this profile here. This is my 30 rolling month profile. This orange. Look at the nodes. Look how much volume is traded in these areas. It's a lot. That's why these are China walls, I'm just calling them, because it's going back and forth between high volume nodes. Okay, let's look at the profile of the NASDAQ. And look, we got excess here, value area, and we got excess here. So it's balanced. Got a balanced profile. Okay, where's price? Right, kind of in the middle of value. Okay, most traded price of the week is 204.90, which is right here. We are below that. So it's a little different, right? ES is holding above the most traded price of the week. NASDAQ is holding below the most traded price of the week. So this is structurally, immediately, a little win for the bear. Okay? A little win for the bear. You are holding above the most traded price of the month, so you're in the middle. And that whenever the most traded price of the month is here, most traded price of the week is here, and you're here, yeah, you can expect some chop. okay, you can expect some chop. Okay, and look, you got this little baby session on Friday, right? And I talked about the OPEX, and I'll show you guys that in a second. Okay, that pinning really affected the market to not do much, and I pretty much didn't trade. I had a couple alerts set, and I was like, this pinning is like, I don't really like it. I don't really like it, so I kind of stayed away. All right, now, what kind of levels we got? All right, now remember the ES, right, is Friday's session and the overnight were equal, basically. Now look at the NASDAQ. It pushed all the way down here past Friday's lows to down here. So relatively weak again, right? What we saw, tech and semis were the weakest sectors, okay? But we have levels to talk about. We have levels to talk about. Now look, you bounced out of demand, okay? You bounced out of demand. You do have a weak high here from 205.26 to 205.32. That is a seller defense part and a bull breakout right there. Okay, right there. Now you have supply zones right here and right here. Okay, looking at another, I'm trying to see of other levels that we can talk about. And really, it's demand, really. Okay, you got a little mini balance area forming here, just like the ES right here and right here. It's a mini. And you got a larger balance area here and basically here. Okay, so we just have to see. Okay, and we're bouncing up almost to the middle of the range. It's not the best place to be. Okay, now you're gapping down, so we got to talk about that. The gap fills 204.33, right at the midpoint of this overnight range. Okay, and you got a high volume node here and supply. So that could be something. Okay, that could be something if the NASDAQ stays weak. Okay, if the NASDAQ stays weak. Okay, so let's do scenarios here. Let's get moving. Let's get moving. And we'll start with the bear. The bear. All right, so we have our weak high here. Confluence high, 205.32, 205.26, this area here. Okay, got supply here. This needs to be defended by the bears. Now we also have the 204.90 level. That is our most traded price of the week and Friday's most traded price. So that encompasses this area. That confluence, all those levels are in this area. Okay, you just want to see it defend it. So if price comes up here, right now, if you feel that gap and price comes up here and tries to come here, can't find acceptance over the most traded price of the week, you could go right back and test this demand zone down here. Okay, do that. Now the other one, here's gap fill, 204.33. There's a high volume node and a supply zone here, weekday VWAP right here. We could also push right into this supply, fill the gap, and then people, as soon as we fill that gap, start getting lower highs, and we can take this overnight activity out and start to test this demand zone here and possibly go down to where the month to day VWAP, 202.47. Remember, month to day VWAP right here was bought. Okay, now if you take this out, that's the most traded price of the week in the real-time trading hours, 201.50. Take that out, 250, 200, 200.50. But we have to see. Okay, have to see. Just make sure you hear those levels and write them down. Okay, now bull case. Okay, bull case. Now we're in our mini balance, right? Our mini balance. Okay, so in this area, this demand zone, it's all, comes in here. If the market's not weak, you look to go long. Okay, you look to go long. Now we have our weak high here, confluence high, 205.26 to 205.32. This is a breakout level. Okay, but the market really has to prove itself to get over this. You got supply, you got week to day VWAP, you got most traded price of the week, most traded price week of Friday. Okay, you really would have to prove itself to get over here. So we'll talk about that. Okay, so the first thing I would say is, let's say you hit that gap fill in the supply, you fall down to here, and you're in this little micro balance area. I just want to see if the market is not that weak. It's probably a good place if we get some higher lows to go long. All right, and then you want to see what we do if we can break the supply, if the market comes above, breaks through this weak high of that 205.26 to 205.32, takes out those supplies, and you want to see the market find acceptance above the 204.90 level. And if it does, you got single prints right here in supply, and you see if you could take those single prints and maybe go to the end of this supply and maybe go to this gap that's still unfilled and go all the way up to 207. That's a lot. That's a lot. Okay? But it's doable. Now, the only other thing I didn't talk about is if the price did come down to here, right? We did talk about in the bear scenario, but I reversed engineer this bear scenario and go to the most traded price of the last month in the overnight session and month-to-day VWAP, and there's demand here. So if this gets defended, yeah, you can go right back to here, right back to value. Okay? That's what I'm seeing, folks. That's what I'm seeing. Now, I promised you some pinning action here. Some pinning action here. So let's look at this. Let's look at this together. I'm trying to bring up the VIX. No, that's not what I want to show you. That's not what I want to show you. Give me a sec here, folks. All right. Now, daily charts. Daily charts. Okay. So, let's go to a different chart. And we can go right into here. Just want to show you guys this is a 15-minute chart, and we'll look at Apple. All right, and I want to show you guys the pinning action. Now I'm going to take off the extended hours here and just show you the gamma levels. Okay, so we'll zoom in here. So I have this automatically on my chart. This 235 level is a gamma level, right? The largest gamma level. Okay, now to visually represent that, let me see if I have that for you guys. Oh, I don't have last week's. Oh, but I do have it. Hold on. I do have a picture that I can show you guys, and we can change it to just give me a sec here, because I can show you guys. I thought I didn't have it, but I do. So we're going to switch it to NVIDIA. Okay, we're going to switch it to NVIDIA. Now I want to show you right here. This is a gamma exposure level chart. This was last week's expiry, right? Last Friday. 138 strike. Look at the gamma. Look at the positive gamma level. This is how much exposure dealers and market makers had. I believe that's, if I'm not mistaken, $179 million. Okay, so it's a big gamma strike, right? Represented right here in that bar. Okay, so if we minimize this in NVIDIA, this is 138. This level, green level here. Look at that. So what happens here? Okay, why that happens? Okay, I'm going to explain it. And it's just something that, like, wow, once I learned about gamma, it was like, whoa. Okay, so whenever dealers and market makers have large gamma exposure, okay, just to explain it to you guys, whenever that happens, okay, they're exposed here. So they want to keep price delta neutral. So whenever the stock gets a far away from 138, they short it. Okay? They have to short. They short the stock. Comes down here, they buy it. And then eventually, as the markets, especially on OPEX, on a Friday expiry, a monthly expiry, look what happens. Look at as the market was getting close to expiry, it just pinned and it closed right at 138. Okay? I see this happen all the time, right? So that's very important to just understand. That's why I'm almost like this. If Apple, Nvidia, other stocks did it too. Okay. Let's see another one. I just want to see another one that really pinned really nicely. If I can give you guys one. Broadcom also had a nice one. Let's just look at that real quick. Yeah. Broadcom. Right here. 180. That was a large gamma. See, I went right to it. Right by the close. It closed 179.89. So that's why when I know it's OPEX and you start pinning, I don't really want to be in that market. You're not going to get long runs. I mean, individual other stocks can, like a MicroStrategy or something. You definitely can. Okay? You definitely can. Now I'm going to give some bonus here. One more bonus here. Really quickly. And I haven't even done this on the weekend. I usually do. We're going to just look at sectors. The guts of the market together. Okay, let's look at sectors, the guts of the market. I don't know why you're not loading. Discretionary. Don't know why you're not loading. And we'll just look at how the largest sectors we're looking at, right? So we'll just look at it. I just want to give a quick look. Okay. Quick look at the markets. And XLK looks like it didn't do much of anything last week, right? That's the largest. And semis look almost always identical to it, pretty much. All right, let's look at second largest sector is financials. Financials have been on a tear, right? So it ripped up, right? Ripped up right here. And we're just consolidating, okay? Let's go to the third biggest, healthcare. And healthcare has been in a downtrend, got bought up here. Then United Health had a little snaz, right? And it's kind of consolidating right here. Okay, right at the 20, right at this. So you see that what I'm saying here? Look, moving sideways now. All right. So let's go to the other one, discretionary. And that kind of just moved sideways last week. Came up a little bit, but now you got weakness in Tesla, right? Then we go to communications. That's your Meta, your Google, right? All-time highs up here, but consolidating, right? The whole market's just, beside financials, right? Then we got industrials. That's your GE. That's your Uber. Look at that consolidation, right? Look at that consolidating, right? This is what makes up our market, folks. So look at this. There's no decision except financials just had a breakout, right? Move on to staples. Staples kind of pushed down. It was falling, got bought up, and then kind of don't know what it's going to do at the 50-day moving average, right? So this is all indecision, right? We can look at utilities. And utilities is different. Pulled back, people bought it because rate cuts are coming and you get dividends from these stocks. So that's a little different, right? Utilities looks a little stronger, but utilities doesn't move the market. All right, you have to understand what moves the market. What moves the market? Like energy doesn't move the market, right? Look at this. Came all the way down, got bought up. Now look, you're right by year-to-date VO up, right by the 200-day moving average. You're right in the middle of the middle. So, that's what's going on there. Now, what else? The only other sector that I would talk about, I mean, basic materials doesn't really move the market. But look at real estate. That doesn't move the market either. So the real estate was all the way down here, crossed right here the year-to-date VWAP, and then took off. Why did this take off? Well, guess what? Market's getting ahead of the rate cuts. Mortgages should go down, right? So this got bounced. But look, last week, balanced. That's why we're just like lollygagging, okay? All right, hopefully you guys got a little something from that little overview of the sectors. All right, maybe a little long-winded today, but hopefully you enjoyed it. Smash the like button for me. All right, and of course, I normally do this every day at 8:10. Today I had a little computer issue. But join me every day at 8, 10 a.m. Have a cup of coffee, tea, and just join me. Why read up on the market when you got me, right? You can just listen. And then if you want to trade, we got trades coming down the pipe, right? And of course, you can follow me on X. That's at Gonzo719. And like I said, you can also go to my YouTube Shorts, right? Then you can also look at my Gonzo719 Trader on TikTok. All right? G-Man, you're welcome. All right? So, everybody have a great day. And I'll see everybody tomorrow. All right? Hopefully, my computer behaves. Take it easy, folks.